In this video, we'll be discussing why we need to adjust our Bowden cables, or push-pull cables as they are commonly known as, which are normally used as throttle or clutch cables. If you're looking for information on how to make the adjustments, then please look at our separate video covering the basic principle of the adjustments. But enough about the how, let's look at the why. You will find that through use, your inner cable will slowly stretch. This is perfectly normal, but does mean that the cable will need some adjustment from time to time. In the animation on screen, you can now see that our inner cable has stretched well beyond what it originally was. This has been exaggerated to help show the details more clearly. To make this more realistic, we must move each end of the cable back to where they originally were. For instance, if one end was attached to your throttle lever and the other end attached to the carburetor. In this case, we're going to simplify things by showing a pair of levers. Then this gives each end a fixed point to work around. Let's call these levers A and B. Now, when we move lever A, we want this movement copied in lever B. Where B is not connected, it's just hanging loosely. So let's connect that up. And let's also assume that lever B is held to the right by a spring of some sort, so that would be its starting position. So what we want is that when lever A moves to the left, lever B also moves to the left at the same time. But as we can see, due to the slack in the cable, lever B barely moves. To rectify this, we need to extend the outer cable shield to match the length of the inner cable, which will remove the excess slack. Why does this work? Well, each end of the outer cable would be attached to a fixed point, like a bracket of some sort. So the result would look more like this, where the outer cable is bowing slightly, as it is now longer than the space between the fixed points at each end. This means the inner cable has further to travel through the outer cable, and thus removes the excess slack from poking out of each end. A top tip: if you're setting up a new cable, if one or both ends of the cable are adjustable, as demonstrated by the pinch clamp at one end of this cable, then you want the outer cable to be as short as possible from new. This is because your fixed end points can be adjusted on the cable by the clamp. This means that your outer cable now has the maximum amount of adjustment possible for when your inner cable begins to stretch.
You can find more helpful videos on our website at www.titan-pro.co.uk and look for the How-To Videos section on the right. If you need to ask something not covered in a video, then the Titan Pro team are always here to help through our dedicated tech support email address, which is techsupport@titan-pro.co.uk.